answer will shock you. And the moment you get over your shock, you'll pick up an axe handle.
Really? I can't wait to hear this. We've been all over this story for quite a while. Stay with us. You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show and watching on the Bay Area's TV 50. It is the Armstrong and Getty Show. I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty.
Please don't say my name on the air. Writes Al or Anonymous.
Okay.
Explaining why that LA school is so expensive.
Huh.
Do you have something from the text line you'd like to feature? Or are you just scanning it?
Not yet.
I love the texts.
I'll save it.
I love the texts. You know why? Because they're so pithy.
They are. They have to be.
Yeah. It's discipline. As a writer, you must have discipline. The text, perhaps even the Twitter, impose that sort of discipline on people. Get to the damn point. None of your ramblings. None of your long personal anecdotes. You're not a good storyteller. Cut it short.
So this is an inside source on the $600 million school?
That is correct. Al or Anonymous writes us. Guys, I don't know if you've ever heard of PLAs. Project Labor Agreements. Certain school districts have them, and LA Unified is one. What it is, in short, is if you are not union, your bid is thrown out. The unions have gotten multiple school districts to sign on to this thing in Oakland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, etc. My first experience with PLAs was with the Oakland School District. I bid a job for an elementary school, $27,000 for a quite large air conditioning system unit. The general contractor I bid to, so this guy's a subcontractor. The general contractor I bid to called me up once he had received my bid and asked if I was a union contractor. When I told him no, he said, yeah, he'd figured as much, and informed me that they had estimated the job at $25,000. But all of the whopping 3 bids they had received from union contractors were $55,000 to $75,000. Again, the legitimate cost, about $25K, and that's what they'd estimated. They only got 3 bids from union contractors, and they were $55,000 to $75,000.
Twice to 3 times.
Right, exactly. This has happened to me a couple of times, and the general contractors tell almost every time, without fail, that they get very few bids on bid day, and they're 30 to 100% higher than they should be. These school districts are killing themselves. I'll bet the only reason the LA school had only 3 bidders is because of the PLA. If we were allowed to bid, it would have been significantly less. I guess I can pay taxes into the system, but I can only get it back if I'm union. And do all of the douchebag callers. Oh, he misspells douche. You gotta look it up, sir.
How do you spell douche?
He spells it
D-O-O-S-H?
No, D-O-U-C-H-E.
So I just say
callers.
I generally just say D-bag.
I prefer that. Thank you.
That word is a little harsh.
And to all of the D-bag callers who will call and say the unions have to pay their employees more than I do, they're full of crap. I pay the exact same amount on public works projects to my employees as unions do, and am required to provide weekly documentation, checks, stub, canceled checks, etc. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Twice to triple what it cost. And your taxpayer money, they've decided we're not going to get the best deal. We are tied in with the unions, so we're going to get a union deal, and only a union deal with your money. You don't like it, shut up.
And then, of course, when times get tough, you hear about larger classrooms because you can't afford to pay teachers and that sort of thing. Nobody talks about, well, we could have gotten this air conditioner for $25,000, but we paid $75,000.
Yeah, I could have paid a teacher for an entire year, but, you know, we've got the union thing going. It's funny, you never hear that, do you? PLAs. When was the last time you heard the teachers union bring that up? They're not going to.
It's very maddening. Very maddening.
How about Nick in Livermore? Hello, Nick.
Hi, this is Nick from Livermore.
What's up, brother?
I did a job for Laney College in Oakland. My guys make $20 to $25 an hour. They're painters.
Okay.
Typical guys pull paint out of the can, put it on a house or building. For the Laney College
In short, painting. But go ahead.
For the Laney College contract, I had to pay my guys $67 an hour.
Why?
Because that's what the contract called for the college. I had to pay them that or I couldn't get the job.
So the college told you to overpay your guys by 100% or more.
Well, the general contractor who bid the job everyone had to pay union wages.
Right.
So my guys I don't know, $47 an hour.
And I'm sorry, Nick, who ultimately is paying that? The taxpayer, is that right?
Exactly, the students and taxpayers.
Yeah, the students. Hey, Nick, well pointed out. The students and the taxpayers. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Did you know this, Mr. and Mrs. California?
It's unfortunate. I have a...
And by the way, we need higher taxes. Why aren't you willing to consider revenue?
I remember I was talking about an acquaintance the other day who had taken on a teaching job where you teach people that can't read or write English.
Yeah.
As junior high kids.
Right.
To read and write English. It's hard to imagine how you get into 7th grade if you can't read or write English. How did you get through all those other grades?
Yeah.
But it's a systemic problem. But anyway, that person left that job after just a few days, realizing that there was just no way you could do that job. It was just pointless.
Wow.
Brutal. And so we've got all these problems with the system on the teaching end. And the answer is always we need more money.
Mm-hmm.
But we never talk about the other end of it.
Right. Well, there are multiple ends of it we never talk about.
Sure.
Just there's this vow of silence. We're afraid to bring up parental input. These homes, dysfunctional homes, kids who don't give a crap. Oh, by the way, Scott, God, we've gotten so many requests for that onion bit on, discriminating against students who don't give an S. Do we have that linked at Armstrong? 11 to 3. 60 here, another major agreement. And so you pay double to triple what you'd pay of taxpayer money as if you put it out to an honest bidding process. More people in the know want to talk about it.
Okay.
It's a shocker.
Take their calls next. You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show. And watching on the Bay Area's TV 50. This is the Armstrong and Getty Show. Tell you what, outrage, nonstop outrage on the Armstrong and Getty Show.
I'm reading this article from Cal Tax Digest, the California Taxpayers Association, about these PLAs, project labor agreements. And they have the pro and con by these people. One from the union organization, this other guy's with the Coalition for Fair Employment and Construction. The obviousness of what PLAs are is stunning to anybody who knows anything about it. The circular pipeline between the union dues, the legislators they get elected with those dues, then the legislators passing laws to make sure unions get the work, and also that whoever does the work has to pay dues to those unions. I mean, it's as easy to understand as a man and woman having sexual intercourse. I mean, it's just such an obvious sexual relationship.
Either way, you get half.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but it's just so obvious and so easy to understand. Then the unions push the legislature to pass these laws where there's no more secret ballot, so the union goons can say, which way are you voting? Answer me no. There's no secret ballot. It's just so obvious what you people are doing, but they win in California. So who's the sucker? To the phone we go. It's Isaac in San Jose. Hi, Isaac.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, go ahead.
So when I was in my early 20s, I just graduated from college. I'd been working as a contractor to put myself through school and was looking for an office job. So I interviewed with the school district as the person who negotiates these PLA contracts.
Okay.
In the position, instead of going to someone like me, went to an 18-year-old high school graduate whose mother was in the union for the school district, who was also going to be in the union, and would be in charge of picking union contractors.
18-year-old high school grad.
Contract.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, okay. All right, Isaac, thanks. That's interesting.
So it's like a bygone era you thought when, like if you wanted to get into the fire department, your uncle had to be in the fire department.
Right.
You know, that sort of thing.
Right.
But we kind of think that we're way beyond that.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't care what sort of weirdo nepotism you got going at your private organization. I don't care. But when it's taxpayer money involved and that bloats the cost of everything by 1.5, 2, 3 times, that bothers me. It's Kevin Dayton here. Hey, Kevin, who are you? What's your story?
I'm the Government Affairs Director for Associated Builders and Contractors of California. We're a non-union construction trade association.
Okay.
And I had been coordinating the contractor fight against project labor agreements in California.
You say what you want. I'm reading this website from this guy who's in favor of it, and he says it protects taxpayers, and it saves us having to negotiate different contracts all the time, and it's good for taxpayers.
Oh, that's a bunch of baloney. You were talking about who's the sucker in all of this. It is the taxpayers. You see right through this like most people do. This is just a scheme to give unions a monopoly on construction.
Well, you know what's a problem with a lot of the modern world is it doesn't matter if you see through these things anymore. You can see through them. You can talk about them on the radio and television and the newspapers. It still doesn't make any difference. It continues.
Yes, well, the thing is, the school districts that these project labor agreements are put in, generally you wouldn't want to send your kids there for education. Unfortunately, it's the school districts where there's no accountability. They're fiscally irresponsible. For example, in the Bay Area, the first three school districts to use project labor agreements were Oakland, Vallejo, and West Contra Costa Unified School District. All three of them went bankrupt. That pretty much shows you right there what kind of local governments use project labor agreements.
All right, well, listen, Kevin, stay in touch on this. This is crazy. It's crazy. It's Exhibit 14C. What's wrong with mobbed up California? And you heard me, mobbed up. Christen? Eric?
Hey, guys.
Hi, what's up?
Hey, I saw you reference the article that I commented in against PLAs and with the Coalition for Fair Employment and Construction. I just want you to know we are going to be banning these in Sacramento next year. We're going to be bringing an initiative before the people. Love to have you guys on board with that. Love to meet with you to discuss the details, but we will be collecting signatures to ban these wasteful, inherently discriminatory agreements from happening within Sacramento.
Eric, we will meet with you to discuss this, but we want lunch, and we have expensive tastes.
You've got it. It's worth it. You've got it.
All right, juicy steak, and I don't want you looking cross-eyed at me when I order a second bottle of wine. That's my only requirement. All right, stay in touch, Eric. Thanks. Tell you what. We got people coming out of the woodwork saying, oh, it's a rape of the taxpayer. Here's somebody who's in favor of it, though. You want to talk to him?
Sure.
Let's go ahead.
I got a text from somebody who's in favor of it.
Noel in Santa Rosa. Hi, Noel.
Hey, guys, it's all about Armstrong and Getty in the morning.
True enough. Flattery will get you everywhere. Go ahead.
I have worked both union and non-union. I'm a small-time paint contractor, self-employed. And you know what you get when you hire union labor is you get Americans, qualified Americans that show up and do the work.
You know, it's funny. I know of unions who are hiring, signing up illegals as fast as they can. But
well, I'll be real honest with you. I never saw one illegal in the union that I was in.
That's the text that I got was the same thing. If you want illegals, do non-union. If you want non-illegals, do union. That's what the text was.
Hey, Jack, that's my text that I sent to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's
and that's my whole point. And let me make a further point really quick, guys. From time to time, when I get slow, I go to work for other contractors, non-union contractors. I'm no longer unionized. And of the three paint contractors I've worked for in the last 4 years, one of them had one illegal and 4 Americans. Another one had 4 illegals, and I was the only American. And another one had 3 illegals, and I was the only American.
We'll punish them.
And I'll tell you what, when I call and try to find work, the first question they ask me is, do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's a separate problem, Noel, and an important one, but a separate one. I need to hear somebody who's not getting money out of this to call and defend it. I want somebody who's completely neutral, says, oh, yeah, this is a good idea.
Well, that's got to be frustrating.
That person doesn't exist.
If your talent is painting and you can't get hired if you don't speak Spanish,
yeah,
it's got to be really maddening. In the United States,
yeah,
I can't get a job because I don't speak Spanish.
Noel, you should be pissed. Working class people, craftsmen ought to be pissed. Black Americans of the lower economic achievement end ought to be pissed about this. Well, I don't know. Some are, some aren't. All right, enough outrage. Do you have any